Hi, Astrid LaRoe here. Happy Soul Work Sunday. I decided to do Soul Work Sunday on video and then just upload it instead of doing it live. But I will come back live and on Facebook and YouTube to pull some cards for the day. And then if you have any questions regarding Soul Work Sunday, then you can ask me in the comments because I'm going to read the comments before I go pull the cards, and I can answer it when I pull the cards live. I just thought since it's a little bit of information that we could get through it faster that way. But I'm really excited about the two I picked. I picked Archangel Raphael, and I picked Athena, who's like the Greek goddess of wisdom and war. So, as far as Athena goes, she encourages people to let go of their fear to shine. Sometimes we have gifts and abilities and are a little shy or whatever. So she encourages you to shine and to let go of that fear, to use your voice. And she's also helps with balance, kind of like Uriel helps with balance too. But she does, she more so encouraged you to be powerful in your spiritual gifts, to not be afraid to use those gifts, and not to be afraid to shine. So you want to call upon her when you need that courage to be able to be powerful. And it's okay to be powerful in a loving way. Okay, so she has very different views in mythology. In the Odyssey's point of view, they considered her a little unforgiving, a little assertive. And then other parts of mythology consider her compassionate and generous. She was also all about the arts. Spinning and weaving were one of her specialties. So if you want to bring out your creative side, your artsy side, she is a very good goddess to call upon, okay? Let's see. Her symbol was the owl. So if you want to work with this goddess, having some of the things that she resonates with is good. One of her symbols was the olive tree. And you can use olive oil in substitute for an olive tree. So I'm getting that when you summon her or you are working with her and you want to use the olive oil, getting it to use it a drop, like a dab behind the ear and then on the third eye, in terms of trying to connect with her. That's what I'm kind of getting that you can substitute with. Another one of her symbols is a snake. Sometimes they're intertwined. And don't let that scare you. There's all about neutrality, in life, and that it's all about perception. So it doesn't have to represent a certain thing. Her number was 7. Her colors are gold, orange, yellow, emerald green, and royal blue. So those would be some of the type of colored candles you can light when you want to resonate with her and get to know her a little bit better, when you want to call upon her for that courage, for that voice. Those are some of the things that you can, some of the colored candles you can use, or like I said, the olive oil too. And it's very important to be clear of what you want, what you're asking her for when you ask her for it. So one of the things she also does is she's really about getting you to assert yourself and use your spiritual gifts and use your powers in a loving way. But like I said, she also has this other side too that's very assertive, not submissive basically, but very generous and compassionate. So she wants you to be powerful and strong, and encourages peace and harmony. So I'm going to give you an invocation to use to invoke Athena. And this one, I really did just get off the internet. I learned a little bit about her through my class that I'm taking, or not my class, not the class I'm taking now, but a previous one that I did before. Because I think I did use her in one of my current classes too, because we talked about invocation and things like that too. So, But the invocation for Athena is, and I'm going to say this slow, so if you need to go back and listen to it, you'll know, or you can write it down. So the invocation for Athena is, Athena, strong and beautiful, ancient warrior, call upon your heart song to open the skies. Spread rainbow light across sea cliffs. Cloaked in power, raise the sun, piercing the gray most at dawn. Athena, O great one, who defies time and challenges the form, free the words in our story and hold the ideal as our voice. With the courage of a sacred warrior, offer our hearts as a painted vessel to the heavens. Okay, so that is her invocation. But like I said, you can invoke her using the owl, the symbol of the owl, the colors that I listed, or the olive oil that I told you how to just dab, 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 kind of. And you want to call on her, like I said, when you are ready to use your spiritual gifts in a loving way, but you need that extra courage, or you just need encouragement, period, or strength, peace, and harmony. And like I said, she's also got this fierce other side that, like, if you need that voice to assert yourself, that's another good way to call upon her. So that's Athena. Now I'm going to go to Raphael. Raphael is a healer, and his name. Oh, let me one more thing about Athena. She was the goddess of the dawn. So I just wanted you to know that. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so now we're moving on to Raphael, Archangel Raphael, and his voice means God heals. So he, and from a Catholic standpoint, and I don't feel like he is more mythology like I do Athena is, because Catholics recognize Archangel Raphael as Saint Raphael. Okay, and in Catholicism, I'm sure if I don't know if I said that right, but in the Catholic religion, he's referred to as Saint Raphael, and he's also a patron of healing, a physical traveler, and a matchmaker. So those, they just have different names in religion they do in spirituality. So that's kind of where that is concerned. But he's an archangel in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So his name means God heals, like I said. And he is a supreme healer for physical and emotional healing. That's here when I'm going to call on. So his colors are emerald, bright green lights, like emerald bright green lights. And you'll know he's around sometimes when you can see those lights with a physical eye. That's one of his ways of manifesting to you. And another way to help yourself heal, or someone else around you, in using Raphael, is to envision that green emerald bright light around the person you're trying to heal and around the body part that is broken or that needs some extra healing. So you, let's say, a family member was sick and was with their belly or something. So you would envision, I'm going to show you how to call upon him and how to invoke him, but you would envision that person with the bellyache or whatever, and envision this emerald bright green light around their stomach, and that's how you can heal them, or Raphael can assist you in healing them, and they're usually able to feel some relief right away. And if it's something more serious, it takes more time and more consistency and dedication with calling upon him. So, some other ways that you'll feel him is through tingling and vibrations. The vibrations that you'll feel are kind of like his way of letting you know he's working through you. So sometimes you'll feel like colds and like like when the area that you're getting healing in, it'll like feel like maybe cold, and then it will feel tingly, like tingly cold, and then you'll maybe feel a vibration in that area to know that he's working on that area for you. And sometimes that comes with heat. I said cold, but I mean, that's rare. I think usually it's heat. And if it does start off with cold, it's in a different area of the body, and then it goes to the area that it's going to heal, and then it does heat, tingling, and vibration. So that's kind of how that works. And then, yeah, because the vibrations, that's his way of letting you know he's working on that part. And it also pushes away any toxins and opens up the body's passages for healthy blood and oxygen flow. And I actually got that from Doreen Virtue. I don't believe she's in the spiritual community anymore, but when I first started off with things, I got a lot of I learned a lot from her. So among others, local and abroad, great teachers of spirituality. So another thing about Raphael, he's sometimes he'll let's say you'll be looking at something on the internet, because he's all about health and healing. So you could be looking at something completely different on the internet, and then all of a sudden he will an article that maybe you were concerned about your health will pop up, like a pop-up on whatever you're watching. So, or a book, you'll run across a book or a magazine with an article about a health issue that either you're aware of or not aware of. But if that happens, then sometimes it's good to kind of pay attention to it. This is another thing that sometimes archangels, when I was talking about this in one of my last videos, I was saying how that sometimes angels and spirit guides communicate to you. It's called trumpeting through music. So a lot of angels and spirit guides will give you messages through music and in your dreams. Your music being, like, I get a lot of messages through music. Let's see how I can explain that. I think if you watch some of my previous videos, you'll get it. But it's usually a message in the lyrics. And as far as dreams, you'll know they come to you in your dreams, because sometimes it's really quick to forget your dreams when you wake up, and that's why I have a dream journal. But the ones that come from the angels and guides are ones that you'll be able to remember for a good length of time, even without jotting it down. So that's kind of how you can differentiate. But I just wanted to bring that up too. So if there's a healing that needs to take place, and I'm going to say these very slow because it's something you might want to jot down or come back to reference later. But here's what you do. Okay, so the first thing you would do is say, and this is the first one I'm going to say, the first 10 things are in regards to, like, this is when you're going to be bringing in, this is from like of a bigger healing, you're going to be bringing in like a religious deity or a ascended master in this prayer too. So I'm going to read those first 10, and then I'm going to read you a few that that you can do to kind of really work with Raphael. So this first one is including Raphael too. It's just it's more intense. So the first one, you're going to say your request out loud. That's the first step. And then the second one is direct your prayer to God. The third one is address both God and Archangel Raphael together. And then you're going to use your preferred deity, whether it be, it could be Jesus or a saint, so on, whoever you resonate with as far as a deity or an ascended master. So you include that. And then you think of what you just asked for out loud. You think of what that prayer is, or request. Then step 6 is you write down that request. This is what I meant by it's a little more intense, if it's like, especially if it's a bigger issue. You'll say, and so after you write the request, you say the words again, softly if you want to, or in a loud voice. Say that prayer with reverence, or a little frustration. Just like, I don't want to say desperation. Frustration meaning not in a bad way, but just like, oh, I really need help with this. So maybe not frustration in a bad way. Maybe not just frustration in a loving way, like that you really need some help with it. So use that reference or reverence. I'm saying it wrong. Or frustration. So after you say the word softly in a loud voice, say that with reverence or frustration. All right, and then say the supplication prayer by saying basically like, "Please help me." So after you say those words, and after you say it with a little bit of frustration and reverence, say, "Please help me." Okay, and then use an affirmative prayer by already thanking them for helping you, saying that thank you in advance, kind of. So that's how you kind of do the whole big, way of doing it. And then just to kind of connect with Raphael a little bit more, and you can actually use these in conjunction if you want to after you do the first one. But just to connect with Raphael, if it's something a little bit not as heavy, like not as serious or whatever, but he can help with emotional stuff too, emotional healing and physical challenges, helping you overcome a lot of different things in your life, emotionally or otherwise. So, or help with an issue that you're having trouble with. So emotional, physical, and helping emotional issues that you are having trouble with. Okay, so with that, you're gonna ask for this is for Raphael too, or Raphael. So you're gonna ask for help aloud, and you're going or silently. It says, and it says they're also saying that this works for all archangels. You have to ask for help because there's free will. So they don't interrupt our free will. So, they're guiding us and watching over us and catching us if we fall. But it's important to ask for help because they don't want to disrupt our free will. So ask for the help with Raphael, either aloud or silently. But definitely ask. Remember to ask. Basically, the second step is kind of pour your heart out to him and explain your feelings. Sincerity when asking for help with the archangels is really important. They want to be able to understand your situation. So pouring your heart out and being detailed when explaining what you're needing help with is essential. So the third one in working with Raphael is which I've already kind of went over this part, but it's visualizing that emerald green light around you, or if it's you with a health issue, visualizing that green light around you, and then on that particular area of the health issue that you have. And if it's for someone else, visualizing that person and then the health issue that they have and visualizing that green light around them. So and then the fourth step is just really paying attention and noticing any divine guidance that comes to you in terms of a vision or the next steps to take. Sometimes you'll get those feelings or just those nudges after that third step, or you'll even get a vision of what to do next. Okay, and sometimes you'll feel, if it's something minor, you'll feel some immediate relief after that, or at least a little bit of you can just feel like the burden's been lifted a little bit. And I feel that to be true, because I'm very I'm empathic. So sometimes after a reading, I have to say, "Hey, Archangel Raphael, I need your help with some of this anxiety I have now from being an empath." And it really does, if it's something like that, it happens pretty fast. So, but just noticing any steps that you have to take, and then after that, if it's something a little bit bigger, then you have to keep doing the same ritual as far as being consistent about it, maybe doing it once a day, and asking for help daily and doing these same steps, and keep asking for help until the healing occurs. Be consistent and be sincere, and just keep asking until the healing occurs if it's something a little bit bigger that needs a little bit more time. So I hope that helped, and I hope that I always think it's great to learn who to call on for certain things, because all the archangels have different jobs. I don't want to say job, but different gifts and different things you can summon them or invoke them for. So I like to get into more of that. But I think for next week, I decided for Soul Work Sunday. And if you guys like the way I'm doing this, we can keep doing it. I can try to do it live. It's just a lot of information, so I thought it would be best to do it on a video, upload it, and then when I go back and do the live questions earlier, I can look at the comments on this first, and then see if I need to answer any questions, or you can ask me then too after I pull the cards for the day. So next week I'm thinking we're going to do maybe one of the Ascended Masters and learning about sacred space, or possibly learning how to connect with guides. So it's going to be 2 of those 3. So I haven't quite decided. If you have an opinion on that, let me know. All right, guys. Well, happy Sunday. Many blessings to you all. Love and light. And I will see you guys soon on Facebook Live. And back on here again live. YouTube to do a different message with a different deck. And like I said, sometimes it depends on what the message is. Sometimes it could be the same message even though it's a different deck, because it's an amplified message. So if you're not already following me on Facebook, it's fb.me/Astrid Leroux. All right, guys, love and light. Bye. Mwah.